did you know that Tobirama's usage of the Edotensei is actually more brutal than a lot of fans realize? The act of Edotensei itself violates the laws of nature by binding the soul of a dead person to a living body, and it's basically a death sentence or the sacrifice, since they'll die once the soul bound to their body actually is returned to the afterlife. But Tobirama's usage of the Edotensei is actually a lot crueler and more calculated than what we saw Hrochimaru and Kabuto use Edotensei for. Tobirama, when he used the Edotensei in the past, would deploy Edotensei in a kamikaze-like fashion, attaching exploding tags onto their bodies, leading to an infinite amount of explosions, because when one tag explodes, several more tags will be actually generated, allowing for an enormous amount of damage that continuously blows up the body of the Edotensei, causing it to consistently regenerate and blow up all over again, all so that the max amount of damage can be done to the target. Number 5, did you know that while Tobirama might have been the person in the modern era who is credited with creating Edotensei, he wasn't actually the first in the universe to use Edotensei to revive people from the dead. We learned this in the Naruto Retsun story that Edotensei has actually existed for several hundreds of years, dating back to the time of the Sage's Sixth Pass. During the end of his days, when he was stricken by a deadly chakra illness, the Sage's Sixth Pass returned to Roaku country, a land where he had visited multiple times in the past. Hagur Romo left behind this information on a version of Edotensei that will be used by Zansu and Gigi during the events of Sasuke Retsun, which both got a manga and an anime adaptation. Orochimaru, after leaving Konaha after being confronted by the third Okage, would travel to Roaku country in an effort to learn more about Edotensei and use this information from Roaku to attempt to perfect the jutsu that people believe that Tobirama created. Number 6, did you know that Kabuto and Orochimaru weren't the only ones who made an effort to surpass what Tobirama did with Edotensei, whereas Orochimaru and Kabuto were trying to use Edotensei to revive the dead as close as they were to their maximum power as possible, with Kabuto during the 4th Ninja War falling just short of bringing back the Edotensei to their full power. However, in the Konaha Shinden Steam Ninja Scroll story, which on top of having a novel, also got a Boruto anime adaptation and a Naruto manga adaptation, we learn from the main villain of that story that Edotensei is something he's claimed to have made the jutsu improved upon by Ryuki in a way that many people say shouldn't be possible. Ryuki claimed that he could use Edotensei to speak to the dead without having to use a sacrificial body, but this will ultimately be proven to be a lie. The method of casting Edotensei, it hasn't changed. The fact that someone like Ryuki even thought to think outside the box shows that even decades after his death, Tobirama's original works are still attempting to be approved upon by others. Number 7,